No, I don't. Some of them might. I don't know, because it was kind of a deal that, we raced there when it was original, and then we raced there after they modified each corner, and it's a completely different deal. Straightaways are different lengths, and you approach each corner. The thing's shaped like an egg, so one corner is really long, and the other is a little bit sharper. So, I've run into the fence a bunch of times, but it wasn't because I thought I was in the wrong corner.
What do you mean a bunch of times?
Well, if they put all the paint on the fence, it would be blue all the way around.
Yeah, I don't think you missed anywhere missing the fence, but yeah, but there's been, some races that's one you couldn't relax at that place, Richard. No. But we've been racing for a long time. Of course, you know that, and I've told him, on the radio or something. I said, take it easy. We pretty well got it in hand. He said, the car wants to run this speed, so I got to keep going. So when you get into a rhythm, it's like maybe a baseball pitcher or a quarterback or ever what you want to compare it to. But when you get in that rhythm, you better stick with it. Me?
Hey, man, the last one, I guess, is a favorite one because you've had the others around. You learn them. So you try to start off with a new one, and they keep coming. We've got a couple on the way right now. So in the next week or two, we're going to have two more added on. So that's going to be interesting.
Verify the two, not just.
Well, okay, he said grandkids. I'm talking great-grandkids.
Okay.
We're talking grandkids.
Okay.
It's hard for me. They start great big, and they go down the list, and they get smaller and smaller, and the grandkids and the great-grandkids, to me, kind of gets mixed up.
But you got identical twins coming along as great-grandkids. That's where I got mixed up again.
I don't know. I hadn't been there today. Okay, it's just a different world out there. People grew up in different societies, grew up with different race cars, got to cup racing in a different way. When we used to run and stuff, to me, it was more of a sport, and the people looked at it as a sport. And now it's got so commercial that even the drivers and all that stuff have to go do appearances. They have to be squeaky clean, all this kind of stuff, so that they don't embarrass the sponsors. So they have to look at it completely different than what we did when we was growing up.
I can simplify all of it. They make a lot more money.
Yeah, sorry about that. I guess I never thought about it that much. Me, as I get older and stuff, I've always liked football, college football, professional football. I've never been that big on baseball or basketball. I might like to watch the championship games, but during the season. And, I guess you just kind of learn to live a different life as you go from one part of your life to another life. And, to begin with, had no kids, then all of a sudden you got kids, then you got grandkids, then you got great-grandkids. And, the big deal there is I think as I get older, I get more family-oriented. To begin with, I didn't have time for the family because I was busy racing. And as my racing went downhill, the family grew. So my attentions then went to, how to keep the family together.
Going on this month will be 65 years me and Mary's been married. Oh, boy. And
she must be a tough gal.
I've gone a lot. But, I got quite a bit of yard to mow, and I enjoy mowing that and making it green and then getting the leaves up. And then, of course, I enjoy football also. Baseball, I watch the Braves, and then I can watch the Hornets play basketball. So it's just it's certainly a different life as you get older, and you got to judge what you can do and what you can't do.
Yeah, my mother went all the time because my dad was still racing when I first started. Because mother always went with us, and she always had food for us at the racetrack, took care of all that stuff. She really run the show.
She was a kingpin.
She had the bank book, okay, and so she really controlled really what was going on. So when I came along and started running, it was just a continuation of what she'd done with Dad. And then when my daddy quit and stuff, then she got where she didn't go to the races and stuff because the business then, once my dad got hurt in '61, then the business turned over to my brother and myself. And, so there again, it was just a different part of my life. But my mother was all involved when my dad ran all the races.
Yeah, I remember. She was the kingpin for sure, and she packed a mean picnic lunch for us.
I guess probably enjoy your life a little bit more when things happen. Used to, you'd run, you had a family, you run a race, you win a race, and then you sort of, I don't know if you really accepted it. In other words, you didn't enjoy it as much as you should because you're busy looking, what's coming next. And so I guess if anything, I would teach myself more patience than what I have. And I feel like as I get older, my patience I got more patience, I think. Even though my body slowed down, my mind slowed down, my lifestyle slowed down to a certain extent. So I learned just to let things go and, just be more patient with what's going on. And you're sitting beside the guy that's got the most patience in the world because he's never used any of them. Okay.
We're going to have to talk about this patient thing, but I don't know, as far as the celebrations that goes on now after the race, we didn't do none of that stuff. It just, we had to load our stuff up and get home and get ready for the next race. But I'm not sure me and you were ever young, were we? I think we was.
I'm gonna look at it the other way. Me and you are never old. Okay, we're still young.
Yeah. Let's forget about our birth dates on that.
They just put them deals on the side of the road that says 55 mile an hour, 65, 70. They put them on there for somebody else. Okay. So, the basic deal when I drive is I like to run a little bit faster than everybody else. And that, to me, that keeps me sharper on watching the traffic. You get along and run the same speed as somebody else, first thing you know, you're not paying full attention. So if I run a little bit quicker, I'm watching traffic on each side of me, in front of me, behind me. So I think I pay more attention. So, talking to all the state men in the country, I never speed. But talking to you, better get out of my way.
I ride with him a lot, and
you hold on a lot too, don't you?
He pays attention, ain't no question about it. But once in a while, somebody pass us, and he lets them go on. Very seldom, but they do, and we stop and talk to some highway patrolman once in a while. But when I drive, married, she's putting on brakes and telling me to slow down and all this other stuff, and she can get in a truck or something ride with Richard, and I don't care how fast he runs, she just don't pay no attention. So I guess you got to consider him a pretty decent driver.
This was in Atlanta in 1959 or somewhere, and they flagged me the winner, and we thought we'd run a race, and I was just getting started. So, but we wound up second, and second was the best we'd ever done. So the big deal that was in the family, if somebody else had protested and we hadn't won, then I probably got upset. But the big deal was that it was still in the family. So I guess that was one of the times I used my patience.
Well, I was in service when that happened, but what you missed the point of it. He was driving a current model car, which was in '59, and you was driving a '57 Oldsmobile, and it paid, and France paid $500 extra if you was in a current. He wanted everybody in current model cars, and at that time $500 was a lot pretty good penny.